Why anti-heroes always win, and why we secretly love it. Ever wonder why the bad guys who kinda do good always steal the show? Yeah, we're talking about those lovable jerks who make saving the world look like a massive inconvenience. Buckle up, buttercups, because we're diving deep into the chaotic, hilarious, and surprisingly relatable world of anti-heroes. Let's be honest, who can really relate to Captain America's unwavering moral compass? Sure, it's admirable, but it's also about as relatable as a unicorn riding a rainbow. Anti-heroes, on the other hand, are gloriously flawed. They make mistakes, they have questionable motives, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty. It's like looking in a mirror, except the mirror is holding a katana and cracking wise. While the goody two-shoes are busy following the rulebook, anti-heroes are busy rewriting it in crayon. They don't care about protocol, they don't care about collateral damage, okay, maybe a little, and they definitely don't care about your feelings. This rebellious streak is what makes them so darn appealing. In a world of endless rules and regulations, it's refreshing to see someone just say, screw it, and do what needs to be done, even if it involves a few explosions and a healthy dose of sarcasm. Speaking of sarcasm, let's be real, it's the anti-hero's superpower. They use it to deflect pain, to disarm enemies, and to generally make everyone around them question their life choices. It's a coping mechanism, a defense mechanism, and a weapon all rolled into one perfectly delivered zinger. Who needs a shield when you've got a perfectly timed insult? Underneath all the wisecracks and violence, many anti-heroes are carrying some serious emotional baggage. They've been through hell and back, and it's shaped them into the cynical, morally ambiguous characters we know and love. This vulnerability, however well hidden, is what makes them so relatable. We've all been hurt, we've all made mistakes, and we've all struggled to find our place in the world. Anti-heroes just happen to do it with more flair and a higher body count. The world isn't divided into good guys and bad guys. It's a messy, complicated place where people make difficult choices with imperfect information. Anti-heroes thrive in this moral gray area. They're not afraid to cross lines, to bend the rules, or to do whatever it takes to achieve their goals. This willingness to operate outside the bounds of conventional morality is what makes them so compelling. They force us to question our own values and to consider the consequences of our actions. At the end of the day, anti-heroes get the job done. They may not be pretty, they may not be ethical, but they're effective. While the traditional heroes are busy debating the merits of non-violence, the anti-heroes are busy kicking butt and taking names. Sometimes you need someone who's willing to do what others won't. Someone who's not afraid to get their hands dirty. Someone who's willing to sacrifice their own reputation for the greater good, or at least what they perceive to be the greater good. Let's be honest, anti-heroes are just plain fun to watch. They're unpredictable, they're outrageous, and they're always good for a laugh. They bring a much-needed dose of chaos and irreverence to the superhero genre. They remind us that it's okay to laugh at ourselves, to question authority, and to embrace our inner weirdo, and sometimes that's exactly what we need. Because they're real, they're flawed, they're funny, they're relatable, they're willing to do what others won't, and they remind us that even in the darkest of times there's always room for a little bit of sarcasm and a whole lot of chaos. They win because they reflect the messy, complicated reality of the world we live in. They win because they're not afraid to be themselves, even if that self is a morally ambiguous, katana-wielding, unicorn-loving maniac. So if you're tired of the same old squeaky clean heroes and predictable storylines, then it's time to embrace the anti-hero. Subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the chaotic, hilarious, and surprisingly insightful world of morally questionable characters. Like this video if you secretly root for the bad guys, we won't tell. And tell us in the comments who's your favorite anti-hero and why. Don't be shy, let your inner rebel shine.